my body basically since arriving here in Kazakhstan, so I decided it was time to finally seek some professional help. My colleague sent me the WhatsApp information for the doctor's office, so I shot them off a message and they responded right away. And we had a back and forth conversation. I talked about what I was experiencing. They told me the total amount that it will cost for the appointment, and I was actually able to book the appointment the following day. But because I needed to acquire some test results in Canada, I booked the appointment for 5 p.m. 2 days later. If you're from Vancouver Island, you know that getting a doctor's appointment in the first place, never mind within the same week, is a blessing in itself. And for it to be at 5 p.m. and not have to take time off work was already just so much easier. Fast forward to the day of the appointment. After work, I took a Yandex to the other side of the bridge, kind of known as the older part of Astana. And on the way there, the Yandex driver who drove me spoke great English, so we had some good chats, and I learned some local perspectives on Kazakhstan and Astana, as well as he gave me some great advice to always take the comfort option when traveling with Yandex, especially if I'm alone. I arrived at the gates, navigated my way through a passport check and a security check to the building, where I went up an elevator to the 14th floor. The receptionist opened the door for me, greeted me, offered me tea and coffee or water. I was like 15 minutes early for this appointment, so I sat down. I tried to shoot off a text, but it wouldn't go through. So I fiddled around with my phone for like a minute trying to figure out why it wasn't connecting, but honestly I didn't have much time because the receptionist came out and said the doctor was ready for me, which again, if you're from Canada, a doctor being on time, never mind early, is kind of unheard of. Honestly, I had no idea what to expect going into this appointment. I'm used to a quick 15-minute appointment, which feels rushed, and I often feel unheard. I am in a new country. Obviously, they don't have any of my health records. I had sent her some test results through WhatsApp before going to the appointment, and she reviewed those. We still spent a good amount of time going over my health history, and she asked a lot of really great questions, and I felt like she actually listened to what I had to say. I walked out of the doctor's office an hour later, and the appointment costed me $188 Canadian. Здравствуйте. When I got back outside to the main road and tried to order Yandex, my phone still wasn't connecting to everything, even though I had full bars. My first thought was maybe that I need to top up my data, so I opened up my phone app and tried to load money onto my account the best I can in navigating an app that's all in Russian, and of course my translate app wasn't working because I'm not connected to data. That didn't work. So at this point I'm kind of starting to panic a little bit because it was dark and I had no way of contacting anyone. I'm on the opposite side of town, it's unfamiliar to me, and of course the stories that the Yandex driver told me on the way to my appointment start flooding my mind. I looked up and could see the giant Ferris wheel in the distance, which is a point of attraction. So as I was walking towards that, trying to familiarize myself with which direction I came in and which direction I was heading towards, I spotted a coffee shop up in the distance, which I should have known that you don't have to walk far to find one of those. So I popped in to connect to the Wi-Fi. My phone still wasn't connecting, so I did what I know, which is turning off your phone and turning it back on again. Thankfully, after navigating a few two-step verifications, I started to receive a bunch of notifications on all platforms being like, "Are you alive?" So by that point, I was able to order myself a Yandex and get home by 7 p.m. So that doctor was seriously so good. Unfortunately, I will have to do a low FODMAP diet for 6 weeks, along with some other things, regular doctor check-ins, as well as she ordered some tests that I will need to go take in the next couple weeks. So although Kazakhstan doesn't have the medications that I may need, I am hoping that they have the technology to at least figure out a diagnosis, and I really get to experience the full Kazakhstan medical system. I went to one of the more expensive doctor's offices. I've heard that you can see a local doctor for about 1/3 of the price, but I needed an English-speaking doctor, and when you live in a foreign country and everything's in a different language, things are a little bit more difficult to navigate. A lot of stuff you find out about here is through connections and word of mouth. So for this time, I'm happy to pay under $200 for the service I received. We've got a Lulu layer with warm socks, and these glasses serve the purpose of blocking my eyes from the cold wind. And a wool overcoat under a warm jacket. It is -5 today. That happened so quickly. Sweet. Hello, здравствуйте.
Как дело? Where is it? Я из Канады. Канада? Yeah. Нас живет Astana.
Oh, good. Astana. You like Astana?
Yeah.
Хорошо.
Хорошо.
Yeah? Я вот чуть-чуть.
Yeah, чуть-чуть.
Чуть-чуть.
Я тоже чуть-чуть.
Наш учитель.
Who is Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer wrote the music to many Hollywood movies.
Such as Dune,
Possibly.
Lion King.
Batman, maybe.